Well, hello. Hey guys. Um, Friday the 13th. Um, yeah, per the request for, a little better documentation about what's going on, what I'm experiencing at night. um, so I'll give you a rundown on last night and try and get in a little more detail than what I normally do, but it's kind of hard because there's so much. Right about dark, I got a real light zap. Um, well, let me back this up. I saw a twinkle light, and as soon as I saw that twinkle light, I got a light zap. So I said hello to him, and not much happened for about 15-20 minutes, and then I could hear one walking behind me. And yes, it was you know upright figure walking. You could hear the bipedal steps, and he kind of worked his way around the backside of the camp, and then I got another twinkle light, um, and then I directly in front of me at, I'm guessing, probably about 40-50 feet. Um, Maybe a little farther, maybe a little closer. It's hard to tell because it's dark outside, but there is a pretty much full moon, and this was in the shadows. So there's areas that are lit, areas that are shadow, areas that are lit, and the shimmering image was in the shadows, but all right, maybe I should call it a distorted image. Either way, same difference. Um, some of the stuff that was in the background was completely blurred out, and everything left and right was clear. Everything above it was clear. I'm guessing probably about 5-6 feet tall, not real big. Um, and as soon as I acknowledged that I think I can see you, I got hit with a pretty damn good zap. Um, Lasted for probably about 10-15 seconds, not minutes, seconds. Um, and then I started getting this euphoria, this feeling of deep, intense love. Like I don't even know what to compare it to because there really is no comparison to it. Um, but I just kind of immersed myself in that, and I was talking to him, and I had asked a question. How many of you are here? And I didn't get anything, and everything went pretty quiet. uh, I don't know, probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And, I was thinking, not much is going to happen tonight. And boy, was I wrong. Um, I got a couple light zaps again, and I call those like, hello, we're here type things. Um, then from the position I was sitting in to my about 11 o'clock, which would put it across the road over where I had my last sighting. But I heard it was either talking or it was whoop whoop. It was pretty quiet, but it was a low tone, and I'm pretty confident it was a whoop whoop. Um, I have not downloaded audio yet, and that's because I'm lacking power right now. My power supply I'm having issues with. So, um, but anyway, had that whoop whoop, and then there's a pretty decent branch break come from a different area. So I started talking to him again and asked him again, how many of you are here? And I immediately, I didn't even almost finish what I was asking, and I got 6. And I asked, what was that? Oh, I asked, are you young or old? And I didn't get anything. And I asked, what did I ask after that? See, this is why it's so hard to document all this stuff. I've got it all written down in my journal on the laptop. I think it was something to the effect of, uh, can I talk to the elders? Or something to that effect, but I got, we're here. And then I could see another shimmering image, distorted image, whatever you want to call it. I won't use the term cloaked Bigfoot because, once again, I absolutely I despise that term. But so anyway, this was standing just inside the shadows, closer to me, and it was the shape of a figure, and it was big, and I'm guessing probably about 8 foot. And once again, I said, I think I can see you, and it started to rock back and forth like this. Still, just a distorted image, but it definitely was moving back and forth. There was absolutely no wind, no breeze last night. It was absolutely dead calm out. Shortly after that, he started to back up, and then I lost sight of him. And I had, it was right after that. I had this absolute distinct feeling that somebody was standing behind me. And I asked, are you standing behind me? And I got hit with one of my top 10 zaps. I couldn't move my arms or my legs. I was pinned into the chair. It was difficult breathing. Not that I was having a hard time breathing, but it was just like, it was so intense. I was like, and it would get stronger and it would get weaker and it'd get stronger and it would get weaker. And it lasted for a good minute and a half at least. And I immediately knew who it was, because it was a familiar feeling. And I asked, is that you, Indy? And I got click. Who all's here? And I got a new name, and it was something like Reiki or Reiki or something, similar to that. It'll probably get adjusted, because I don't always hear it correctly, and then I get corrected later on down the road. Just like Indy, his name isn't Indy, it's Eadengon, and that's pretty tough to pronounce, and so I just call him Indy for short. When I got introduced to Indy, was in a vision over at Squatch Camp. It was in living color. I remember every single detail of it. That he had walked up and introduced himself and said that, and this is in mind speak, that I am Eadengon, and this is my mate, Eaden. So it was like it was the same name, but the female version. So I don't know if part of that is a surname, or I don't understand how that works, and I don't know if I ever will. And maybe someday they'll let me. But so I call him Indy. But anyway, back to it. This Reiki, what I was gathering was his daughter, and he was very proud of her, and he wanted to, you know, wanted to let me know how proud of her he was and how much love there was. I can't explain this, how this happens. I don't know why this happens, but this is what happens. This isn't a figment of my imagination. Um, when I get plowed into the chair and I physically cannot move and my whole entire body is just going zzz, it's that's not imagination doing that. But so anyway, shortly after that, I didn't have the feeling of him standing behind me anymore, and it was either a small stick or a small rock bounced off the hood of my truck, and it was dark out. I couldn't see what it was, but I did see it. If that makes any sense, I couldn't identify whether it was a stick or a rock, but it wasn't a pine cone. It was something small and had a little bit of mass to it, and I'll walk you over there real quick. Give me a second. So this is the exact spot that I was sitting in, and my truck, I've been out and made phone calls, so I'm not parked in the same exact spot, but like my front wheel would have been about right here, so I was closer this way and a little farther back that way. But when I was sitting there, this area right here, it was all, like you see the sunlight. This is what it looked like last night under the full moon, just darker, but lit up area, shadow area, lit up area, shadow area. But whatever it was came at an angle, bounced off my hood somewhere around here, and went bouncing off the ground. Now, there's all kinds of sticks and rocks on the ground, so I can't say, oh, it was this one, and I'm not going to even attempt to do that because I just don't know. I just know it was something with some mass and velocity because it landed, what am I, 15, 20 feet away from my truck. So it landed somewhere right about where I'm standing at. The first shimmering image I saw, okay, this little area right here that's all in shadows, the first image I saw was right there. The one that was, about 5 feet tall. The larger image I saw, let's see, he was standing just right here at the front of that first shadow right there. But of course it was a lot darker. So if you can see how the terrain is lit up in spots back behind him, it was like that last night, so you could see, silhouette of the shimmering image. But let's see if I can, I'm trying, this big tree back here between the two little ones up close, that was mostly distorted. I almost couldn't see it, and then I could see up above it. And, then he had backed off back into the shadows and vanished. Where the whoop whoop came from was somewhere right back in that area across the road. And, I get so much activity from back in there. So anyway, I had gone back to bed. Hold on a second. I had gone back to bed, or back to bed. I had gone to bed, and I no sooner got laid down, and I could hear one of them reaching into my trash bag. Bring you around over here. But what I could hear is a noise like this. And, you know, I've already checked the bag and everything to make sure that, you know, it wasn't a raccoon or bear or coyote or anything else, you know, trying to tear the bag open. But, you know, so as you can see, the trash bag is in excellent condition. So, anyway, I asked them, you know, to please quit digging in the trash, that there's snacks on the table, some muffins and what have you. And I said, you can help yourself to that. And it went quiet after that, and I fell asleep. Woke up this morning and, you know, went about my day. So, you know, I hope this helps a little bit. You know, it's kind of hard trying to explain this. You know, you really need to be up here to experience it, or, you know, out somewhere and experience this stuff. You know, because it is absolutely 100% real. It happens over and over and over again. You know, I can't think of a single trip that I've come up here and not had, you know, this level of activity, or even a lot higher than this. You know, so here I am. Today is the 13th. I'm going to be up here through the 22nd. You know, so I guess there's going to be a lot of videos, you know, popping onto my YouTube channel when I get home, because I just have absolutely no way of getting those posted up from out here. So I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll give you a pan of the area. And the woods are full of elk hunters right now. Today is opening season of archery elk, so they are everywhere. I wish them luck. Peace out.